If we look at the strategy that the government is using after the removal of fuel subsidy, which is the palliative strategy to cushion the effects of all of this, how feasible is a palliative strategy?
My sister, the palliative strategy, to me, I think it's not feasible at all. Why? Because the modalities for distribution of that palliative already defaulted. So how would they achieve? You are sending palliative, okay, the ones that have come to, remember that the palliatives were supposed, according to the federal government, supposed to be 5 billion, and also per state. Now, they've only released 2 billion, okay? And the 2 billion now, who are the people that are managing it? In this state where we are, Rivers State, the chairman of the committee is partisan, is in a political party. You understand? How do we guarantee that these things will be distributed accordingly? Now, I said something, I was talking with a friend some days back. I said this palliative now, to me, it is not what we ought to do. That's because if we can afford to spend that much for palliative, then why remove the subsidy? You understand? Why remove the subsidy? If we can spend that much for palliative, why remove the subsidy? You have just left it there. Let everybody enjoy it. Because this subsidy, let me tell you something. The subsidy was removed from the petroleum sector. It's not also from fuel. And it's not everybody that uses fuel. It is you and I that moves around. I have a car. I have a generator. You understand? But this, so the way the way they are managing it now, they said poor, the poor people. How do you define poor people? If I say I am poor now, what would you say? You understand? And again, the modalities now is we have done BVN, we have done NIM. Is that also our database is out there with the government? So why don't the government to say, okay, we are using this database to distribute this thing? Do you know why? Because if they do it that way, it means that everybody will end up getting maybe nothing, something less than 1,000 naira. Then what is it to you? I did a loose calculation when they said, okay, the subsidy is 5 billion. I said, okay, if we estimate, we say Nigeria is about 200 million. Is that not so? Now, that 5 billion divided by, multiplied by 36 states in the country, then divided by 200 billion. I think you get roughly 900 naira. Then let's say due to bottlenecks and other things, you say, okay, let's circumvent some people out. Let's say in every 100 persons, only 10 persons gets it. So 10 multiplied by 100 is 90,000. You see? So which means that ordinarily, in the average, somebody may be getting 90,000. That 90,000, how long are you going to spend it? After spending it, what next? So this money is supposed to be channeled to areas of that will be productive. Like I said before, the industrial sector is there, the agricultural sector is there. Effect development in this sector. And in the long run, we will not even feel the effect of this removal.
Now, you talked about the 5 billion being disbursed to states, and some states saying they have received 2 billion naira.
Yes.
Now, the federal government actually said 52% of that 5 billion would be used for buying foodstuffs for vulnerable and poor Nigerians, and 48% of that 5 billion would be given as grants to states, which they are supposed to pay back. So obviously, it seems like there is a room for grants for small and medium scale businesses and all of that. So don't you think, looking at it in depthly, there is something good for Nigerians?
Oh, okay, I wouldn't dispute the fact that there will be something good for Nigeria, but my point still remains that this disbursement, the vulnerable people you talk about, so who are the vulnerable people? What if I tell you that I'm vulnerable? What if I tell you that I cannot feed my family 3 times, I cannot give them 3 square meals in a day? Am I not vulnerable? So it depends on how do we define vulnerable people. Then aside that now, this disbursement for grants and other things, it's from records. This is not the first time these grants are coming. Who gets them? Who gets them? As an ordinary man, I walk to them now, tell them I need this grant, I have SMA, I have this. The things they will ask you to even show them or present before you assess it. It's things are unreasonable. So at the end of the day, the people that are supposed to manage these things end up still getting the grants and using them for their own personal to accomplish their own personal objectives or personal tasks. So to me, I don't want to undermine or talk down on the efforts of the federal government. Understand? But what I am saying is, if it will work, because through grants, if the SMEs in earnest get these grants, it will help to step up their production, because most of the countries, what has prepared development in a number of countries that I know, Indonesia, India, this SME, so small and medium scale, even in the US, the US record shows that about 70% of organizations, they are small and medium scale organizations, so they are engine for economic development. But the thing is, can they access these funds? They can, yes, in the long run, they may end up pushing the economy forward. But if not, my dear, we will just run around the cycle and return back to where we started from.